Okay. So we will be looking at the remaining part of what we were discussing in the last class. This is the only one that's left with that portion. And then we'll be starting off with syllabification and the aspiration part. Okay, we'll just discuss those two. And next week, we'll discuss the stress. Okay, I want to start it today because we might not find time completely for the next week to discuss the whole of the stress patterns. Okay, so today we'll quickly discuss this one on delexicalized verbs, the last part in collocation. Finish that and we move on to the syllabification and the aspiration part. Okay, all of them are simple topics, just need to know how to use them. Okay, so we're going to be discussing mainly 5 verbs. Okay, we've already discussed what delexicalized verbs are. Basically, what does it mean? The meaning of the word delexicalized means that it does not contribute towards the meaning of the expression that they are part of. So, for example, when you say, take a look, okay, it's only the noun in the sentence, that is a look, which is contributing majorly towards the meaning of that phrase. Take is basically inert. Okay, it is delexicalized. It does not actively participate in the meaning-making process. That's all the delexicalized verb means. And they form a large set of what we call as collocation pairs. Okay, we discussed already the lexical and the grammatical collocation. This is the last part in that. There could be more, but the more popularly used ones include even the delexicalized verbs. Okay, so we're going to discuss a set of 5 or 6 verbs which are used as delexicalized verbs. So the first one you have on screen is have. Okay, have is the first one that is used as delexicalized verb. So just take a look at that. You see the things, see those comments that's written around the word have, right? So what does it mean? You usually can use have with a noun or a nominal expression that is related to food and drinks. Like, for example, have a cup of tea, right? Or have pizza, or have rotis or chapatis or anything, right? So any noun, okay, any nominal word that is related to foods and drinks can be used along with have. And when you say that, what happens? The meaning is mostly generated only by the noun, whether that's cup of tea or juice or burger or whatever you're saying. Have has a very inert function there. Okay, it's just it acts mostly like a helping verb, right? Like an auxiliary verb. It does not have any meaning on its own, right? Its only job is to help the other verb in terms of its tense and aspect. Similarly, a delexicalized verb also, they just sit there to complete that expression. They do not have any role to play. They do not supply any meaning to the expression. That meaning comes mostly from the noun in the expression. So have a cup of tea. Okay, have juice or have fruits. Any expression that's related to food and drink can be used with have. When have is used as a delexicalized verb. Okay. Next one would be talking. Any expression that's related to talking, like have a chat, have a conversation. Okay, these are examples that you can use along with the word have when you're using it for terms related to talking. Similarly, terms that are related to washing, right? Have a wash. Okay, have a cleanup, right? Terms related to disagreements, okay, disagreeing, like have a fight, have a tiff. Okay, tiff is another way of saying that someone has a troubled relationship, like you had a verbal exchange or something. Have a spat, right? This word is very common in the present day because of the influence of social media, right? Have a spat with someone on the social media. This is more commonly used there. Okay, have an exchange of words, right? This is again related to disagreements. The last one there, resting. Okay, any activities related to resting. Have a break. Okay, this is one expression you can use with it. Okay, have a holiday. Okay, that is not a common expression, but then have a break is the more commonly used one, but have a holiday can also be considered a correct formation of that, right? So your takeaway from here should be that Have is a delexicalized verb and it can be used in instances of nouns that are related to food and drinks, talking, washing, disagreeing, resting. What do you find common? Now that we've discussed it, what do you find among the five instances that we have mentioned? Food and drinks, talking, washing, disagreeing, resting. What do you see? What is the common connection? Like, what are these things about? Anything? Any comments that you have? So these are all, yeah. Go ahead, Shivangi.
Ma'am, these are like general things we have in like our day-to-day life.
Yeah, these things are basically, these are activities that you perform on a day-to-day basis, right? These are like your daily activities. So delexicalized verbs, their usage is more commonly with activities that are conducted on a daily basis, right? Something that is related to your routine or something that you do every day. Your daily life activities. So most of the expressions or most of the instances that we connect a delexicalized verb with are related to your daily life activities. Okay, so that's the only thing I wanted to say. You will see most of these instances repeating for the other delexicalized verbs also. Okay. Yeah, these are few expressions for the one that we just discussed. So have breakfast, have lunch, dinner. Yeah, okay. So you can use have also with not just individual food items or drink items, but also something that refers to the activity of, names of, what you perform with in relation to food and drink. Like, for example, lunch, breakfast, dinner, right? You say have breakfast, have lunch, have dinner. So in that instance also it's used. Then have tea, juice, have a discussion, have an argument, all of those related to talking, disagreeing, etc. Okay, these are just examples of what we just saw here in this figure. Okay. Now, like I was saying, you will see that, these instances, most of them, they repeat for other delexicalized verbs also, which means most of them are going to have one of these, at least one or two of these activities that we already mentioned in this. Let's take a look at this. Next one is take. Okay, look at what do you have? You have resting and washing. We found these two in have also, right? So that's what I meant that most of the delexicalized verbs will have a repeat of these tasks. Like they're all connected to daily life activities that we perform. All the expressions with delexicalized verbs in one way or the other is connected to our routine in one sense or other. So take mostly takes resting and washing nouns with it. So take a rest, like take a bath, take a shower. Okay. Look at the examples we have here. Take care of, take turns, take a turn. Okay. Take the trouble, take trouble, take a chance, take a risk, take a decision, take a photograph, right? All of this is connected to the expression take. I mean the delexicalized verb take, right? Most commonly used for expressions related to resting and washing. Unlike have has more, of course, we saw that. But again, the common thing between both of them is that these are also connected to your day-to-day activities. Look at the next one, give. Okay, so we did have, take, and the next delexicalized verb is give. What is give related to? Look at what you have here. Noises, facial expressions, hitting, right? Affectionate actions and talking. Again, you see talking is a repeat here, right? So noises, facial expressions, hitting, okay, the as in, the action of hitting someone, then affectionate actions and talking, right? Examples, give a cry, okay, or give a loud cry. You can add adjectives or other modifiers to it, but the basic expression is give a cry, okay? Next is give a smile, facial expressions, okay? Give a smile or, give a grin, right? Any expressions related to your facial expression can also be connected with the verb give. Next is hitting, give a kick, give a blow, give a punch, right? So any expression that is related to hitting, the action of generally hitting someone is also, it also takes the delexicalized verb give, right? Give a punch, give a blow, give a kick, right? Next is affectionate actions, give a hug, okay? Give a hug. So even for those kind of expressions, you can use the verb give. Next comes talking. Again, talking is a third time repeat. You saw that with have and you saw that with take. This is again used along with give. So what do you say? Give an answer, give a reply, give a response, right? So these are expressions that you use with the delexicalized verb give. In all these expressions, do not forget that the meaning is generated only from the noun used in the expression, right? The verb, whether that's have or take or give, it is not contributing much to the meaning making process. It's mainly the noun that is taking care of the meaning that is generated, okay? That must be generated. Okay. You have some examples here. So with noises, you can say give a scream, give a shout, right? Next is the expressions related to facial expressions. See, give a look, give a glance, give a smile, like we already discussed. Then give a blow, give a push. This is related to hitting. Give a kiss, give a stroke. These are what? This is affectionate actions, right? So those are examples of affectionate expressions. Then next, the last one is again related to talking. Give an information, give a lecture, okay, give a talk. Okay. Now this, because we are discussing this, what is the difference between give a class and take a class? So are you taking a class with me or are you giving a class? Or say, if I have to tell somebody that I have a class at 6 p.m. and will I say I have to give a class or do I say I have to take a class?
Take the class.
Yeah. Okay. Any other answers? It's the other way around. Okay. So I give the class. I don't take the class. Okay. I know in Indian English, the most commonly used expression is I have to take a class. Okay. But the actual way of saying it is the correct way. The correct use is I give the class. I can give the class. You are the ones who take the class, right? If you come to the class, you are taking the class. And if I'm teaching, then I'm giving the class. Okay, don't forget this distinction. This is a very commonly seen error in the
Schooling.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So you don't give a class if you are teaching, right? If you are the performer, then you give the class. Otherwise, you are taking the class. Okay. It's a very commonly confused expression. Give a class and take a class. Just mentioned it for your reference. Okay. So that is that. Now, the next delexicalized verb you have is make. Okay. Now, make again has two majorly used instances, which is talking and sounds. Okay. I don't know what talking and sounds. Okay. So basically for expressions related to talking and sounds. Okay. Like we saw noises in the previous questions, right? And then the second one would be plants. Okay. Expressions, nominal, that is noun expressions related to talking and sounds and plants. Okay. We'll take the delexicalized verb make. So look at the examples you have here. Make a sound. Okay, make a sound. Make plans. More examples in the box down there. Make a noise, make a suggestion, make a plan, make a date. Okay, can you give me other examples? Say something connected to plans. So you make a plan, you make a date. Anything that you can suggest from your side? Make an appointment, right?
Yes.
So the verb you use with appointment is you don't fix an appointment. This is another expression that we hear very commonly in the Indian context. Fix an appointment for me with him, right? It's not fix an appointment. The proper usage is make an appointment, right? I would like to make an appointment, or please make an appointment for me with him. Okay? Not fix an appointment, right? So that is with make. So two nominal expressions of talking and sounds and also plants. Okay. The next one you have here is go. The delexicalized verb go. Go can be used with all ing verbs for common activities. So what does this basically mean? There is a name for this class of words, right? Ing words which are used as nouns. We call them gerunds. Okay, so they have the ing suffix, but they're not verbs. They're actually nouns. Like look at the examples there: cycling, walking, fishing, riding. Okay, all of these are what they basically nouns. And when they're used as nouns, the ing expression, they can also be used as verbs, but only when they're used as nouns, you can use the delexicalized verb go along with it to make the collocated expression. So go cycling, go walking, go riding, go swimming, right? This is the expression you use, right? Remember the ing that you see here is related to the nominal use of the ing suffix, that is as a noun, and not the ing marker you see in the continuous tense form in verb. Okay, this is noun, not verb. Now, the next set is verbs to do with moving, right? Verbs that have got to do generally with the moving action. So example, stroll, swim, or ride anything. You know, the same thing without an ing. What you see in the first, on your left-hand side, same kind of things, but without the ing form, right? So look at this. Go for a swim, go for a stroll, go for a walk, right? So these are the two ways in which you can use go, either with the ing expression or without it when it is used as a proper noun like swim or stroll or walk, so on and so forth. Okay, you understand the distinction? This one is a little technical, unlike the others. They were more based on the context, but this one is a little bit connected with the forms. That's why understand this a little better. Okay, two different forms are allowed here. One with the ing form, that is when all these activities become nouns: swimming, riding, walking, shopping, etc. And the same thing even without ing. But in that case, the expression changes a little bit. It becomes go for a walk, go for a stroll. Okay. Yeah, a few more examples for you down here. Go swimming, walking. I think we already discussed this. Go for a swim, go for a walk, go swimming, go walking. Okay. And then I think this one should be the last one. Do, the verb do. Okay. The do verb is again used with ing nouns. Similarly, like like we discussed for go, right? ing. Same thing can be done with do. So what's the use here? ing nouns to do with work, right? So do the cooking, do the washing, right? It has to be a work. It has to be something that you need to perform. Again, related to your daily life activities. So do the washing. You do the washing, I'll do the cooking, right? So do along with your nominal expressions related to work, right? You do the coding, I will compile the reports. Okay, something of that sort. So it can be used along with any activities related to work. Anything that you do as a work can be used along with the delexicalized verb do. But you need to add one definite article before it in order to show that you're talking about the specific activity of walking, or sorry, not walking, of coding or washing or cooking, so on and so forth. Okay. Then the next part you have here is other nouns to do with works. Okay, so something that is generally related to your work, which includes professional work and other activities, like you do the homework, okay, do the artwork, finish the artwork, or finish the housework, or finish the gardening, or so on and so forth. Okay, do the gardening, etc. Then comes with nouns when it is obvious what the action is. Okay, obvious actions like do my hair, do my pony. Okay, expressions of that sort. Let me see if we have more examples here. Yeah, do the cooking, do the drawing, do the dishes, do the hair, right? So these are, keep in mind that the verb do, delexicalized verb do, is related more to work. Okay, any expression that is related to work would be the one that goes mostly with the delexicalized verb do. Okay. You can remember it in that way. Even if you don't remember all the three distinctions that I showed you here, okay, related to general work and ing nouns with related to work. Even if you do not, really catch on that, it's all right. But just remember, for any work-related affairs, you can use the delexicalized verb do to complete it. Okay. So we've had do, have, take, give, go, and do. How many delexicalized verbs? 6, right? Have, take, give, do, go, and make. Some people also include the verbs set. Okay, the expression set also as a delexicalized verb, but we do not find as many uses for the verb set as much as we find for all these 6 ones that we've discussed. So I have avoided using that in this set. We only have used 6 of them: have, take, give, do, go, and make. Okay. So have, we know out of this has the largest number of expressions: food and drink, resting, talking, washing, all of that is involved in that. And take, again, resting and talking were the two. Give, what was give? What would we use with give? So like, give a talk or give a lecture or give advice, okay? Give reply. So talking and again, general expressions can be used along with give, right? Go, two expressions like we discussed, one with the ing form and the other without it, right? So go swimming, go shopping, or go for a walk, go for a stroll. Do, mostly related to all your work, right? Professional or otherwise. You can use do. And make, again, for what is make used for? So give me examples. That should be enough. You don't have to remember the term exactly. Give me examples.
Like make a plan, make deal.
Make a plan. So it can be used for plans. Make a deal. Yes, correct. And then
Make an appointment.
make an appointment. What is the other part? So all of this is related to plans. What was the other? We mostly used to use it for two, right? Talking, right? Even for talking. Make a noise, make a suggestion. Uh, give has more. So noises, facial expressions, hit, affection. You don't have to remember these things. I'm just showing you because I am supposed to describe these things. You just need to know the expressions. That's all. As long as you understand the expression, you know how to use it, you're well and fine. You don't have to recollect all these things that you see on the screen. This is just for the teaching purpose. Okay. All right. Urvashi, if you have any question, I see your hand raised from some time now. Urvashi, you're trying to speak, we cannot hear you. No, I think maybe your mic has some problem. Because I see that you're unmuted, but then we can't hear you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, I'm audible.
Okay,
Yes,
all right. Okay, Urvashi, see if you can fix the mic. We are unable to hear you. Or maybe you can type out in the chat. Let me see if I can answer. Okay, so while she does that, we'll start looking at the exercise. I am going to go a little bit in a hurry on this because I want to discuss the aspiration and syllabification also with you. There's nothing much in that, but still, I would like to make it through both of those topics today. Let's start with this exercise. The first one, so you're going to complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verb above, okay? So just for the time being, because, we've just discussed this, I will leave these verbs for you in the chat, okay? So we have 6 of them here. And you're going to choose from these 6 to complete the expression that you have in the exercise, okay? And remember, these are fixed expressions, okay? This is why they are called collocations also. We discussed the philosophy of collocation. These are all fixed expression. Like you always have to say make an appointment. You cannot use anything else along with it. The delexicalized verb to be used with an appointment is always make an appointment. You cannot use, say, have an appointment or take an appointment or do an appointment. That sort of mix and match is not allowed. Make an appointment is a fixed expression, okay? So keep that also in mind, which makes it a collocation, okay? Suitable or qualified to become a collocation. The first question here, can you try and answer this question? Make sure you dash a look at the engine before you buy the car.
Have.
Okay. Any other answers? You will find a few expressions here which will have either overlapping meanings or maybe completely different meanings also. Okay. So have a look is your answer. Any other answers? We can also say take a look, right? Have a look is correct. We also hear expressions like take a look. Both of them are same. You can either use have a look or take a look. The difference is only between the varieties of English. Like have a look is more like a British variety and take a look is a US variety. Okay. But you can use any of these. Both are accepted versions. Have a look or take a look. Both essentially mean the same. Okay. All right. The next one. They never fail to dash as a welcome when we go there.
Give.
Give us a welcome. Okay, all agree, give a welcome. That is the expression. Okay, so they never fail to give us a welcome when we go there. Okay, third one, Saturday is my day for dash jobs around the house. Now, keep in mind all the changes of tense and aspects, right? Like future, present, past, or perfect, continuous, and simple tenses. All of those applies to these verbs also. They may not be participating in the production of meaning, but they are very much grammatical. So whatever changes take place in the sentence in terms of tense and the aspect is reflected on these verbs. Okay.
Ma'am,
So keep
doing.
that on. Sorry.
Doing.
Doing.
Saturday is my day for doing jobs around the house. Yes. Okay. We can use doing jobs around the house. Correct. Do a job. Okay. So doing jobs around the house is the correct expression. Fourth one, the housing committee are dash priority to the elderly.
Giving.
Giving priority to the elderly. So give priority, right? Give priority. Giving priority, give priority is the expression. Here we'll change give to giving since the tense demands us to do so. Giving priority to the elder. The moment we met, we dash a dislike to each other.
Gave.
Gave. Any other answer? Anybody else wants to try? The moment we met, we dash a dislike to each other. This is again a set expression. Please learn this. This is also going to be helpful for you in terms of improving on your language. So the expression is take a dislike. Okay. Take a dislike. The same thing you can use for like also. I take a liking for this. In that case, you will say I take a liking for this. I take a like for this. So both for dislike and like, you can use the delexicalized verb take. So take a dislike. The moment we met, we, now because here this is in past tense, what are we going to write?
Took.
Took, right? The moment we met, we took a dislike to each other. Okay. Take a dislike to someone. Okay. Take a liking for someone or take a like to someone. Both expressions are fine. The expression is take a dislike. Here we're using took a dislike to each other. Okay.
Ma'am, but it doesn't like sounds good with the sentence. We took a dislike.
So it is not about sounding good. These are set expressions which are used in all the predominant varieties of English. Okay, you can check it. This is a valid and a grammatical expression. Maybe you haven't come across it. That's why this sounds weird to you, but it's a very, very commonly and regularly used expression. Take a dislike. Okay. Sixth one. I told her I'd run in the marathon. I'm not going to dash any promises like that again.
Make.
Make any promises, right? Make a promise is the expression. Make any promises like that again. Seventh, she's always dash an interest in current affairs. She's always
Having.
have an interest. Again, this is a place where you can either say have an interest or you can also say take an interest, right? So she's always having an interest in current affairs. Now, again, I would say a better usage would be taking an interest in current affairs. Okay, usually the more popularly used expression is take an interest, but maybe have an interest is also not wrong, maybe not considered wrong. Okay, so she's always taking an interest in current affairs. Can be, you can take that as the answer. Okay. Eighth one, her singing dash an impression on the audience.
Makes.
Makes an impression on the audience. Her singing makes an impression on the audience. Next, dash the handle a twist and the door should open.
Give.
Give. Okay, give the handle a twist and the door should open. So give a twist is your basic expression, right? I don't know the answer, 10th one. I don't know the answer. So I'll dash a guess.
Make a guess.
Make a guess. Correct. Okay, the right expression is make a guess. Okay, not give a guess or take a guess or anything. It's make a guess. Okay, I'll make a guess. Everyone else, 11th one, everyone else was dash notes in the lecture, but I had forgotten my pen.
Taking.
Taking. Do you say taking? No. This is again the commonly used one is taking, but the actual answer is making. Okay, you make notes in the lecture. Okay. You don't take notes, right? Who takes notes? If you're writing the notes, you're basically you preparing something on your own, right? So that's making notes. Everyone else was making notes in the lecture, but I had forgotten my pen. Okay, make the note is the expression, the used expression in the language. Okay, 12th one. Shama would dash a speech tomorrow.
Give.
Give.
Again, same thing. Okay, we say make a speech. Okay, you make a speech. So Shama would make a speech tomorrow, not give a speech tomorrow. Okay, so set expression give a speech may not be considered grammatically wrong, but then expression wise, it's a wrong way of saying. Okay, usually people who use English in societies where this is used as the dominant language, we don't hear anything like give a speech. It's mostly make a speech. Okay, she's making a speech. So similar to, she's the other expressions that we saw with make, right? And like I told you with make, with appointment, you always say make an appointment. You are not allowed to use any other delexicalized verbs here. Maybe other verbs are used, right? Like in this case, you can say deliver a speech. That is okay. Other action verbs are okay, but among the set of delexicalized verbs that we have, the only choice we have is make, nothing else. Okay, make a speech. That's what forms your expression. The 13th one. Tarun will dash a presentation on artificial intelligence and the new medicine.
Make.
Okay, again, here you can have a tendency to say give the presentation. Okay, but the answer is make a presentation. Okay, anything related to that kind of performances like presentation or, speech or, any related terminology with it would take the word make. Okay, so Tarun will make a presentation on artificial intelligence and the new medicine. Okay, the 14th one.
12th one, make was the answer.
Which one?
Shama
would make a speech tomorrow. Okay, make a speech tomorrow. Okay, 14th one. You were wrong in dash a leave without any intimation. You should dash an apology.
Ma'am, taking and make.
Taking a leave without any intimation. You should dash an apology.
You should.
You could say you should offer an apology, but that is not what we are looking at. We need to choose from the delexicalized verbs we have. What would you choose?
Make.
Make. Okay. Make. You should make an apology, right? You were wrong in taking a leave without intimation. You should make an apology. Again, make an apology is your expression. Okay. These are all expressions that you should try to learn. Okay. Because they'll prove really helpful for you with respect to speaking for sure. Okay. Right. Next one, 15th. He dash running every morning.
Goes.
Correct. Goes. He goes running every morning. Okay. So this is like the tense form, change tense form version of go running, go swimming, etc. So he goes running every morning. Routine. 16. I am busy today. Will you dash the cooking?
Do.
Do. Okay.
Do the
Do the cooking. Will you do the cooking? 17th. Let's dash shopping at the weekend. What do you say?
go.
Go. Right? Let's go shopping at the weekend. What do you say? I may dash horse riding with my cousins this Friday.
Go.
Go again. Okay. I may go horse riding. All of the, you see all those ing forms there, right? They're all gerunds. So the verb to go with them should be go. Go shopping, go horse riding, so on and so forth. 19th, have you dashed your teeth well? Have you dashed your teeth well? What is it? Someone said the answer, but I did not really catch. What would you use here?
Ma'am, make.
So this is an obvious activity, right? So what
Have
is
you
the
done?
expression you done? Yes,
Best,
correct.
ma'am.
So do is the one that you use here, right? So have you done your teeth well? Have you done your teeth well? Then this must be the last, if I'm not wrong. Let's see. Oh yes, 20th one. I am heading to the saloon to get my hair
Done.
done. Okay, so obvious activities. Do with all the obvious items. Have you done your teeth well? I'm heading to the saloon to get my hair done. Okay. So learn and understand the use. First of all, be aware of what these delexicalized verbs are and how are they used and what kind of activities. So that you don't have to remember. Just keep in mind, most of them are used along with day-to-day activities, right? Terms and terminologies related to your daily life activities. Okay. That's all with this one. It's a very simple topic, yet a very important one in terms of adding to your fluency. Okay. I hope you have understood this. Of course, some of you may need a little bit of more practice with it. I have tried to cover as much as I thought I can do with the description part. Okay. Any questions you have? Urvashi, can you unmute yourself now and talk to us if you're around? Oh, she's not here. Oh, she's here. Okay, I don't see her anymore here. Okay, whatever. Anybody else with any other questions? Those of you here?
No, ma'am.
No? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to close this one and I'm going to share the next file with you. Like I told you in the beginning, I will take up a little bit of portion from the next week's class also because I don't think I will have sufficient time to finish with the stress part if I am going to entirely focus on this. So we'll just discuss a little bit about this as well, and then maybe we can close for today. Okay. So this is on syllables, aspiration, and stress. Stress we'll do in the next class, but maybe we can discuss a bit on syllables and aspiration today. Okay. So do you understand the concepts of syllables? What are they basically? They are the smallest unit that you can find in a word, right? So basically, all your words are formed with the help of syllables. So we look at the syllable, the structure of the syllable, but to begin with, we know that we cannot have the words without syllables, or to put it the other way around, syllables combine together to form words, right? And when they combine, they can so they can combine, sometimes they don't combine. When they don't combine and are found as single syllables, we call the word a monosyllabic word, right? Which basically means there's only one syllable in the word. If it combines with another syllable, then you have a word which has two syllables and you call it a disyllabic word. If there are more, as and when you keep adding or they combine with more number of syllables, we have names for all of them. So you have trisyllabic words. And anything above that, if there's 4 or more in a syllable, you usually call them a polysyllabic word. Okay. So for example, a word like pronunciation is a polysyllabic word. How many syllables do we have? We have pronunciation, 5, right? So this is called a polysyllabic word. A word like I, E-Y-E, this is a monosyllabic word. It's only one syllable in this, right? Today, the word today has 2 syllables, right? So that much is clear to all of us, right? In terms of syllables. Now, within this syllable, if you look at its structure, in a syllable, you more importantly, like more than anything else that you find within a syllable, what you should significantly have is a vowel sound, right? You cannot have a syllable at all without the presence of a vowel sound, right? So whether you take I or pronunciation or today or any, for that matter, any word, you cannot split them into syllables unless you have a vowel sound associated with every single syllable, right? So in case of pronunciation, you break it open into 5 different syllables. Each of those syllables are going to have at least, not at least, they'll have one vowel sound each, okay? So the presence of this vowel sound is basically contributing to the syllabic nature, okay? That is what is more important, to give a unit a syllabic nature, right? So two things, two takeaways from what we discussed. One is words are formed through combinations of syllables. And while this happens, they can combine with 2 or more than 2 syllables to form words, but they can also be found as single syllables, right? Second thing is every syllable will definitely have a vowel sound without which the syllable unit is invalid, right? So these are the 2 things theoretically that you should understand about syllables. Now, in terms of syllabification, because you are going to get more questions on count of syllables, etc., right? If you understand these 2 points, then you automatically know that when you count syllables, when you're looking for syllables in a word, you're basically looking for the vowel sounds present in that word. Okay. So the moment you get a question on how many syllables, first thing that should go to you is how many vowel sounds. It's another way of asking how many vowel sounds in this word, right? Because vowel sounds are, the presence of the number of vowel sounds are directly related to the total number of syllables in the word. Okay. That's how you count the, sorry. Okay, so the total number of vowel sounds in a word is what decides the total number of syllables in a word. Okay, there are more things that we can discuss about it, like where to break and all that, but it is a bit more complicated and it's a little too much of detail for for the course that you're doing. It's basically beyond scope. So we're not going into that kind of details. It's not for a beginner's course like this. For your case, for your purposes, the only information you may require at this point is that you should understand the total number of the vowel sounds count in the word. Okay, where should you break? Where does the break happen? What are the rules related to breaking the word? Where is the boundary of that breakage and all that is a little beyond your scope. So we don't need it. Okay. So if I ask you a question like, what is the total number of sounds in the word magnificent? Can you try and answer?
And 4.
Tell me how many vowels. Forget about syllables.
4,
Just tell
ma'am.
me.
4.
Okay. And what are they? Just tell me the vowel counts. What are the total vowel sounds, total count, and what are they? Magnificent.
The count is 4. They are mag, then knee, then
Yes.
fee, and then say.
Yeah. Okay, you're giving me the
Like combined.
syllable. Yes. Magnificent has 4 vowel sounds for sure, but our only confusion is with respect to whether we are looking at the right vowel sound. So the first one we have is A. Okay. Second is E. The third is again E, and the last one is A. Okay, as in the schwa sound. Okay, that is the sound that you have. It's not A, it's not magnificent, it's magnificent. Okay, so 4, you're right, 4 vowel sounds, and they are A, E, again an E, and then the schwa sound. Okay, and in terms of syllable, it is ma, like you told me, it is ma, me, fi, and sen. Okay, ma, me, fi, this is the third one, and the last one is se. Okay, these are the 4 syllables. Okay, so this is why I told you some of you may not be able to do this, boundary breakage properly. You may be not able to decide what is the exact boundary where it breaks, but that's not a problem. Even without that knowledge, you can definitely tell me how many syllables are present if you're able to understand the total vowel sounds used here. Do not be confused. Please look only for the vowel sounds. Don't go by the letters here, otherwise you'll get your answers wrong. Okay. Next one. What will be the total number of syllables in the word automobile? Automobile.
And 4.
4. Which are? Tell me which one.
Ma'am, O, then O, then O, then Y. I.
Just give me the vowel sounds. I'm only looking for them. I don't care even if you do not understand the other one. Automobile. The first one is O, right?
Yes,
First
ma'am.
one is O. Then comes A. Then again A. And then E. The long E, right? So automobile. That's the and both that you hear again they are shwa. Okay. Automobile. 4 sounds. You're right. You're right about the number of syllables, and these are the vowel sounds associated. Next one. Drastic. Drastic.
Ma'am, 2.
2. Right? 2. So this is a disyllabic word. You have 2 vowel sounds here, and then you have 2 syllables. Okay. Drastic. Factory.
Ma'am, 2.
Factory. Sorry. Yeah. Factory. No.
Ma'am, 2.
2. Yes. Factory. Okay. So you have 2 syllables in the word factory. Correct. Audible.
Ma'am, 3.
3. Right? 3. So you have 3 vowel sounds, and hence you have 3 syllables. Audible. So 3. Manchester.
3.
3. Again 3, right? Manchester, 3. 3 vowel sounds, 3 syllables. India,
Ma'am, 2.
2. Right? 2. Pandemic,
Ma'am, 3.
3. Right? 3 vowel sounds, 3 syllables. Traveler, traveler,
3.
3. 3 again. Medical,
Ma'am, 3.
3. Fate,
Ma'am, 1.
1. Right? Fate has only 1. Career, career,
Ma'am, 2.
career. Career has 2. Career. 3. We have 3 in career, okay? So ka is the first one, the one, that's shwa. Then re, that's the second one. Then there's another shwa at the end, that is also a different syllable, okay? Career, okay? Career, so 3. Falsification,
Ma'am, 5.
5, okay? 5. So O, E, A, and A. 5 of them. Falsification. Falsification. Next one. Trigonometry. Trigonometry. So see, some of them can be confusing. Now I am spelling it out for you, so you may be able to catch. But in the exam, you don't have this facility. So be a little bit careful about how this works, right? Trigonometry.
Ma'am, 4.
4, which are, can you please count it for me? Like, say the syllables.
Ma'am, first
First
is
one?
E,
Huh?
then A, then
Yes.
O, and then
Yes.
A.
Which is the A?
Ma'am, metric.
Okay, that is actually a E, but then isn't there also another E at the end?
O.
Hmm? 5, right? We have total of 5. We have trigonometry. So you have the others were all right. I think what you said E, then comes O, then sorry, the first is E, second is A, then third is correct. O, then comes E and then E again. Okay, trigonometry. Tell me. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, 5 words. Sorry, 5 syllables, right? Trigonometry or trigonometry. Fine. Then
Yes.
comes binomial. Binomial.
4.
4.
4. Which are they?
Ma'am, I,
Okay.
O, then
Um,
E,
hmm, hmm.
and then
Okay. So the first one is I. The second one is not O. It's O. Again, it's also diphthong, but you're right. You can count as long as you know to count. It's fine. I mean, as long as you can detect the vowel sound, it's fine. By first one is I, then O, then E, and then A. Okay, 4 binomial. Okay. Next is pollution. Pollution.
ma'am, 3.
3, right? 3. Pollution. Okay. 3. If you're looking at the internet for its division, in the American version, especially in the words that end with shin and shill and all that, you will see that the vowel sound is indicated in brackets. Okay. Now, what that means is in the American context, most of the times, while schwa appears in these suffixes, they reduce it. They sort of not say it entirely. But for our purposes, right, we are going to count that too as a separate vowel. So don't go by those brackets that you see in case you're referring the internet. I would suggest to go by the method that we're using here, right? Wherever you feel that break, like you're doing it right now, this should be the right method to approach. Okay. Some of the things, if you depend on the materials online, it can be a little confusing. So just follow what has been discussed in the lecture and what I've just told you. Okay. Next is contest. Contest.
2.
2, right? Disyllabic, you have 2 bits. 2. Improve. Improve.
2.
2. Again 2.
3.
Sorry? Improve has 2, not 3. Okay, im and prove. F2. Yesterday. Yesterday.
And 3.
3. 3. Right? Yesterday. So you have 3. Scrupulous. Scrupulous.
Scrupulous. Ma'am, 3.
3 again, right? Screw, few, and lust. Right? Scrupulous. 3 of them. So just follow this method. Just look at the total number of, some of you may be able to divide it even like that. You get the pauses and breaks correctly. But in case of any confusion, just look at the total vowel sounds present in the word. Okay, that would give you the exact number of syllables also. Right? Okay, now we quickly look at aspiration. Now, why is aspiration by itself is not a difficult thing to understand. What is it? It is just an extra puff of air that you hear with certain sounds in English, right? In our languages, we have way too many sounds that have aspiration, right? We usually have a set of aspirated and unaspirated sound. So you have a th for t, you have a d for d, you have th for th, right? So the for the, this is almost like a pairing. It's like the voiced and the non-voiced that you say in English. But in English, we don't see aspiration associated with all letters, or we don't see a pairing of that sort. There are specific conditions where a given sound gets aspirated in English. There are only 3 sounds which takes this property of aspiration, namely p, k, and t. Okay, they're all voiceless stops All of them are voiceless and all of them are stops also. So only these three sounds, pa, ta, and ta, right? Or ka, pa, and ta, if you want to say it in the order. Only these three would take the aspiration, and even for them to be aspirated, there are conditions. What's the condition? They must be present as the first sound of the stressed syllable in a word. Okay, only if pa, ka, or ta appears in the beginning of the stressed syllable of a word, then they take aspiration. In all the other contexts, they are without aspiration. Okay, if they happen to appear as the first sound of the stressed syllable in the word, then you can call them, or rather, they take the acoustic property of aspiration. Okay, so this also means that to understand this particular part, you also have to understand stress, right? You should understand the concept of stress and where the word is stressed in the word in English to decide whether your pa, ka, or ta, if they are present in the word, will be stressed or not. Okay, so we'll discuss stress in detail in the next class. But just to begin with, I'm not going to look at the disyllabic words right now. I'm only going to look at the monosyllabic ones, right? So that the part is a little bit clearer. So let's look at the first example. Skill. You think is stressed in this one? How many syllables? You tell me first that. How many syllables in skill?
One.
One, right? And does ka appear at the beginning of the word?
No, ma'am.
No, right? So two conditions have to be satisfied. The syllable has to be stressed and the pa, ta, or ka has to also appear in the beginning of that syllable. It should be the first sound you hear in that syllable. But both the conditions are, they're not available or they're not present in the word skill. So, ka here, is it aspirated or non-aspirated?
Non-aspirated.
Non-aspirated, right? Now look at the next word, kill.
Aspirated.
Aspirated. Why? What are the two conditions?
Ma'am, the K comes in the beginning and
Ka. Say ka,
vowels.
don't say k. Ka appears in the beginning of the stressed syllable. There's only one syllable, so no question of which one is stressed. If there's only one syllable, the stress is on the given syllable itself. So, since that is not a problem, next thing is whether it appears in the beginning. Since the answer is yes, ka is going to get aspirated. So, you're going to say kill, right? There's a small H that appears as a superscript in the paper. So, that H actually represents aspiration. Okay. So kill is aspirated, skill is not aspirated. Now, next one, pill,
Aspirated.
aspirated, right? So both the conditions are satisfied, hence pill is aspirated. Say pill, okay? Peak,
Non-aspirated.
non-aspirated, right? For the same reasons that for why skill was not aspirated. Same thing, right? Not appears, it is not. It definitely has one syllable and the stress is on it. But the problem is that it is not the first sound in the stress syllable. Okay, so that is also out. Next one, straps. Straps,
Non-aspirated.
non-aspirated. Same reason, right? The syllable is stressed, but the ter that you see in the word is not does not appear in the beginning of the stress syllable. We don't do ticket, testify, photography, tractor. This we'll do tomorrow because since I haven't discussed the stress with you, but then I think we can because I've already marked the stress here. Okay. I've marked the stress for all the words here. Can you try answering this ticket? You understand how stress is marked? No, we use that apostrophe mark sort of thing before the first sound, before the first letter of the sound in the stress syllable. Okay, that all those apostrophe sort of things that you see are markers of stress. So ticket, will the ter be aspirated? Yes, right, because ter has the stress on it. The first syllable has the stress and ter is also the first sound in that stress syllable. So Both the conditions satisfied, hence ticket. It's aspirated. Next one, testify.
Aspirated.
Aspirated, yes, same thing, similar to ticket. Again, it has got both the stress as well as the appearance in the first position of the stress syllable. So testify, again, aspirated. Photography,
Aspirated.
aspirated, right? That is going to be aspirated for the same reason as you saw in ticket and testify, right? Photography. How about the next one you see here? Photographic. Is the term in photographic aspirated?
Oh, photo. Yes, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, that extra, ma'am, the H, the first sound comes.
Is it? Check it. See that word properly. Look at the screen. Where is the stress in photographic?
Photo.
No.
It I say the end.
It's on the graph, right? It's on the third syllable, right?
Photographic.
Photographic, right? It is photography, but the moment you add the IC suffix to it, the stress changes. The pattern shifts. Now the stress is on the third syllable graph. See this?
Photo.
Okay, are you with me?
Yes, ma'am.
So in photographic, the ter cannot be aspirated. It can be aspirated only if the stress is on that syllable, on ter. Okay. So since that is not the case, you cannot have aspirated ter in photographic. In photography, since the stress is on ter, you can take it as an aspirated ter, but not in photographic since the stress has now shifted to the next syllable. It is on graph now, not on ter. Okay. Got the point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tractor. Tractor. This is also a special case.
Tractor.
See, so in words like this, no? Yeah, it is not aspirated. So whenever per, ter, and ka, they appear in combinations with the r consonant. Basically, when they form clusters with r, the ter r cluster, per r cluster, or the ka and r clusters, they don't get the aspiration. Okay, that is because of some physical acoustic qualities of the sound r, right? It usually does not let the ter get aspirated. So in these, be aware of this cluster combinations. Whenever you have a combination cluster with any of these three sounds, per, ter, ka, and r in the cluster, even though the two conditions of being stressed and also found at the beginning of the stress syllable is satisfied, the combination of per, ter, ka with r is not going to give you an aspiration. Okay, so tractor, proctor, okay, or great, you can get examples like this. If you have such questions with the cur, per, and the ter combinations, then even if the other two conditions are satisfied, you should not mark it as aspirated because it's difficult for these sounds to get an aspiration when they are in combination with the rs. Okay, because of some physiological restrictions, we do not consider them as an aspirated sound. Okay, and we don't consider them aspirated in such cases. Okay, this is a special case. Please make a note of this. Next comes inspire. Inspire. Is it aspirated? Is per aspirated in inspire?
Spire. No, ma'am.
No. Right? Why? Because it is not the first sound in the stressed syllable, right? So is the first sound. So we cannot aspirate it. Time. Time.
Time. Ma'am, non-aspirated.
Right?
Ma'am, like we say, like time, and not time. Like the extra sound, I don't think it comes.
No, see, it's not, I don't think. We're looking at, we have a few rules in here, no? So my question is, does the rule fit on time? We may not be saying it. We are not saying many things the way it is said, right? So that is what we are looking at in this course. So from what I just told you about aspiration, can you decide whether time should get an aspiration or not? So in this word should get an aspiration or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right. Because it satisfies both the condition. Appears in the beginning and it's a monosyllabic word, so the stress is also on itself, right? So time. Okay, we may not be saying it. So, like I said, we are not saying a lot of things the way it is said. But time is an aspirated. I mean, there is aspirated in time. Okay. Instantaneous. The last one here, instantaneous.
It aspirated.
It is aspirated, right? Because you have both the conditions satisfied. The ter here, it is in a stress syllable and it is also in the first position of the stress syllable. Hence, it is aspirated, right?
Ma'am, can you tell the two conditions for aspiration?
The first condition is that your per, ter, and ka should be a part of the stressed syllable. And not just that, just mere presence in the stressed syllable is not enough. It should also be the first sound present in the stressed syllable. Okay, like you see in the word instantaneous. The stress is on teen, right? And in that case, ter is present in the, or it is a part of the stress syllable. Not just that, it is also the first sound in that stress syllable. Okay, only if these two conditions are satisfied, then you may say that the ter or per or ka that is involved in.
And also, is it necessary that after the stress syllable there must be two vowel sounds?
No, nothing of that sorts.
Yes, ma'am.
No. Okay. So that's all about the aspiration and conditions for aspiration of the Perturger sounds and syllabification. Stress we'll discuss in the next class. It requires a little bit of discussion on the rules that we'll finish off in the next week. Okay, for the next class.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then we'll see you next week for the closing session.
Ma'am, can
Thank
you
you so
share
much.
the YouTube link of this
Sorry?
class? Ma'am, can you share the YouTube link of the class? I
The
can't
YouTube
find
link
it.
for this would be shared in your, I mean, I think it should be in the calendar itself. I don't have the access to that link,
No,
but I think
ma'am.
it should be
In the
populated in your,
calendar,
it's
there
not
was a
updated.
playlist. There was a playlist
Okay, so you can find the same thing in the playlist, it would be updated after the session is over.
no, ma'am. It is not live on YouTube in this link.
Sorry, I didn't understand you.
Ma'am, the class is not live in the live stream in the YouTube.
It's not live streamed on YouTube. Okay.
Uh,
We'll check with them why it is not live streamed. See,
yeah.
I'm not aware of that. Okay, I don't manage that part. But you can find this once the class is done, the recorded sessions you can find in the playlist. Okay, so don't worry about it. You won't lose any content. See there. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
All right. Okay. See you then next week, all of you. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you just
Thank you,
explain why photography is not an aspiration word, but photographic involves aspiration?
It's the other way around. Photography is aspirated. Photographic is not aspirated.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Can you just give the explanation, ma'am? I think I have not understood.
Same explanation. Nothing is different. In photographic, the stress is on the word graph. I mean, the syllable graph. Third syllable is stressed. So since the stress, the first condition of stress is violated, you cannot have the aspiration. That's all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. See you all then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.